Hi there, let's go over the topic 5 and topic 6 short answer questions that I gave. So the first question was the difference between persistent pollutants and non-persistent. So non-persistent pollutants can be broken down into simpler non-polluting compounds by chemical reactions. And so if you look at this page in your book, it talks about fertilizers and sewage are examples of non-persistent. However, persistent, they accumulate and build up, so pesticides, petroleum products, heavy metals, and persistent pollutants are much more damaging, as you can imagine. Next question then, let's talk about what are biological indicators. So these are organisms that are typical to both polluted and clean water, and we use biological indicators to help us tell whether water is clean or not. So there's 8 parts per million, for example. Would be 8 parts per million would be 8 to 10 would be really healthy water. And so on. What are point source, or what are the most useful biological indicators? The animals without backbone, so insect larvae, things like mayfly nymphs, etc. They're ultra sensitive, so that makes them really good. What are point source versus non-point source? Point source pollutants enter the environment from a specific location, for example, drain pipes and smokestacks, whereas non-point source pollutants mix into the environment before they're detected. Feedlots, golf courses, construction sites, etc. Let's go on to topic 6 and talk about some questions there. I spoke about CFCs and what they're used for. They're called chlorofluorocarbons, and they're used for forming styrofoam, and they're also used as a propellant in aerosol cans and coolants in air conditioners and refrigerators. And the problem with CFCs is that they break down the ozone layer to normal oxygen, and that can cause a hole in the ozone layer. And so you want to buy Freon or air conditioners that are free of these chemicals. Next question, explain primary sewage treatment and secondary and even tertiary. Primary treatment breaks down large or separates large suspended solids and sediments, so filtering, screening, and flocculation. Secondary uses bacteria to remove the organic waste, and tertiary removes nitrates and phosphates. Groundwater. Water that filters through soil and fills the spaces between particles and rock and soil, and it's underground. What's the average rate at which groundwater moves? 15 meters per second. What's an aquifer? It's an area where permeable material can collect useful amounts of water, and it's basically an underground lake that we tap into for wells. And aquifers can be easily polluted if there's a high amount of leaching. So if the soil leaches chemicals through its pores, it could enter the aquifer system. What is the advantage of an aquifer? An aquifer naturally filters water, but contaminants may be concentrated in them. biodegradable substances. These are organic in nature, coming from living things that can be broken down by bacteria, fungi, and simpler organisms into carbon dioxide and water. If something's biodegradable, is it okay to throw it in the landfill? No, not necessarily, because it could take a long time to decay, and decay products may be hazardous. So, for example, look at the differences. Cigarette butts, some of them take 12 years, paper 2 to 5 months, wool 1 to 5, milk cartons 5 years, tin cans. Look at how long it takes tin cans. That's why you should recycle tin cans, and that's why you should recycle aluminum cans. Don't forget, when it comes to biodegrading, there are certain things to speed up the biodegradation process, and one of them is moisture, higher temperatures, more surface area. What's a hazardous waste? Any material that is poisonous or toxic or flammable or could be explosive, etc. What are the 4 R's? They are reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover. What percentage of substances are found in our municipal garbage? 25% paper. Wow, that's high. 8% glass, 6% plastic, yard waste 20%, and food 9%. What's the benefit of recycling paper? It uses 58% less water and 74% less energy. How many aluminum cans can be recycled with the energy used to make one brand new? 20. Why do we cover sanitary landfills? This is to avoid windblown litter and to avoid attracting scavengers. So let's look at this. So here's an example of another sanitary landfill. So residential commercial waste is trucked to the landfill in a garbage, and it's dumped, and then a bulldozer usually tries to cover it over. What's leachate? The liquid that results as waste decomposes and rainwater fills down through the landfill. Methane gas is produced in landfill sites. What could we do with this methane gas to benefit society? It could be burned and used to produce electricity. Draw and label a secure landfill site. Well, secure landfills are like, they deal with hazardous waste, first of all, and secure landfills will have venting. So let's see if I can pull up a picture. I don't have a picture, but they're going to have all sorts of clay liners so that leaching doesn't happen, and they may have venting tubes to allow some of the toxic gas to get out, and then we can burn that off. So make sure you know the difference between sanitary and secure landfills. And that's it. I hope that helps you.